Morning, everyone. Virgo Triad here. It is May 29th, 2018, and I hope everyone had a wonderful Memorial Day weekend. I wanted to just make a couple of announcements this morning. I have several videos that will be going up this week with lots of new and interesting information, but I have a couple of announcements that I feel are important. One is that during my vacation, someone sent me a link that is a subscriber of mine to this Facebook page that apparently someone has put up. The Facebook page is Stop April LaJune of Durango, Colorado from Scamming People. And I will put this link in the description of this video so that those of you that are like-minded and want to take a look at it, and those of you that have been scammed yourselves by Miss LaJune, have an avenue to vent to one another and to discuss what it is that you would like to do. So once again, this is just a new development that occurred over the weekend. I received the link from a subscriber. I don't know a lot about this page. I just know that it is something that was forwarded to me that I thought you guys might want to know about, so I'm sharing that with you now. It's a good idea for those of you that are like-minded with regards to April LaJune and feeling that you were scammed, in addition to people that just simply want to be part of the watchdog community on social media that allows for you to know more about the process of what happens when people are getting scammed, to support pages like this, so that you can kind of interject yourself into that community. The more people in the community that we have, the better. This is, nobody has a free-for-all on stopping scammers. I wish that they did. It would make my job a lot easier and several others that do it a lot easier. We need to be all watching out for one another as a community. So please take a look and support this page so that this way you are up to date on what is happening with regards to Miss LaJune, in addition to what I tell you on my channel and a few others tell you on their channel. Next. So I wanted to take you guys over here to actually take a look at an article that I actually found within that Facebook page. It is something that verifies what I have been trying to tell everyone for the last 8 or 9 months, and that is that the states are now asking the courts to put criminal penalties on UCC1 financial statement filings that are filed frivolously, meaning falsified. For those of you that have purchased packages and you are filing UCC1 financial statements against your own straw man, they're talking about you. Illinois just came up with a solution that says that for the first filing, you will receive a Class A misdemeanor, which carries a penalty of up to 1 year in prison. A secondary filing will be considered a felony and will allow for up to 7 years in prison. These states are not fooling around. Many of them are requesting from the courts to allow for criminal penalties. And the reason for this is because there is a very high percentage of individuals that are filing falsified UCC1 financial statements. The UCC1 financing statement is a tool that allows a creditor to perfect its security interest in the personal property of a debtor. What that means is that if you are someone or an entity that is really a lender and you have lent $10,000 to someone based on the fact that they requested it from you to purchase a vehicle, for example, should that party decide at some point that they cannot or will not pay you back on the funds that you have lent, you have a security, a lien on that collateral being the vehicle, and you can take that vehicle back and resell it or do whatever you choose to do with it because of the fact that they decided or were unable to pay you back. Now, if this were not something that were put into place, what we'd be looking at in reality is the following. We would be looking at a lot of people who finance their vehicles, which let's face it is about 73% of the consumer base right now, 73% of us have vehicles that we have to finance because we don't have $10, $15, $20, or $30,000 to put into a vehicle at one lump sum. This could mean that if the UCC1 financial statement went away, banks would not be apt to lend you anything unless you had 100% AAA perfect credit and have as far back as they could determine. The reason behind this being they would hold no security interest, no lien whatsoever, nothing to protect them should you default. It affects both the party that is lending, it affects the consumer, and it absolutely 100% affects the economy. For those of you that have fallen for packages that are heavily filing UCC1 financial statements, thinking that you can file a statement against yourself or what you call your straw man, you are 100% in the pool of those that are considered frivolous and false filings. You cannot file a UCC1 financial statement against your straw man. It does not work. You have to have two parties, one that is the lender and one that is the receiver, or otherwise known as the debtor, because that is what you are. You are the person in debt to the party that has lent you the funds. You have to have a two-party agreement, and those two parties cannot be within the same entity, meaning that you cannot file against your straw man. You also cannot, this is absolutely ludicrous, I cannot believe that it's even been stated, but you cannot use or piggyback on someone else's security agreement or someone else's quote-unquote indemnity bond as claimed by April or June. That is absolutely ludicrous. No such thing is a possibility. That is fraud upon fraud. It is just completely ridiculous to even stop and think about it. Falsifying a security agreement or falsifying a indemnity bond is just going to do nothing but get you in a lot of trouble. That is fraud. It's fraud. All right, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and link this in the description of the video. I would encourage all of you, especially those of you who have purchased a package and have filed a UCC1 financial statement, to take a look at it so that you can be aware of what is happening. And I encourage anybody who's interested in the economic news that is coming out to take a look at it and just know what is actually occurring. It's getting bad enough to where there is a high enough percentage of erroneous and falsified financial statements that the states are now asking the courts to allow them to penalize people with criminal penalties. This has gotten really out of hand, and we can thank all these wonderful gurus on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and even more than those platforms for putting us in a situation to where now more taxpayer money is being used in order to request from the courts that this frivolous paperwork stop. They've been warned by the IRS, they've been warned by the Treasury, they've been warned by the Federal Reserve, they've been warned now, they're being warned now by their own states. It is absolutely ridiculous that this is continuing and that anybody is actually believing in it. But regardless, this is once again, some information to protect you. So if this applies to you, I encourage you to look at it. We've got some really exciting videos that will be coming out this week, some new stuff you guys don't know about, and I really look forward to putting those up, posting those up for you guys. I hope everyone had a great weekend, and stay tuned. Bye-bye.